What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. With Adventure Week coming out in Pokemon Go, there is a particular feature that warrants a new video, and that is the fact that Rock-type Pokemon will be spawning more in the game. So with that, I figured why not talk about the top 5 Rock-type Pokemon that you do want to focus on, not only throughout this event, but also in the future as well. So many people have asked me, why don't you make a top 5 Pokemon by type series? Well, this is how I'm doing it. I've actually been doing a couple of these throughout the year whenever we get a new type being presented in an event. So we're going to be doing the Rock type today. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about a strategy related to the eggs. That is another feature of this event. We're going to be seeing a couple of these Pokemon hatching in 2-kilometer eggs. And you might be very tempted to go ahead and just power up those Pokemon. You say, oh my gosh, I got a 96 IV out of the eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and power that up. But I would highly recommend you to consider trying to catch some of these in the wild at a higher level, or at least trading with other people so that you can save some Stardust. A great example of this would be Bastiodon for myself. If I end up getting it at level 20, you know, to get it up to 1500 CP, that's basically up to level 40. That's gonna be a lot of Stardust to invest into it. Instead, I was very patient, tried over about a month time period, worked with someone in my community, and I was able to get a very high level 96 IV lucky version of Bastiodon, saving myself a ton of Stardust. So definitely keep that in mind as we go throughout the video. But if this video is helpful to you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. For the number 5 spot, I decided to put in Golem. So Golem is going to max out at 2,949 CP. When we talk about it from a statistical standpoint, it is a decent Pokemon. Check out its overall ranking at 46. Very well rounded, its best stat being its defense stat. But when we talk about the usability of Golem as well as Alolan Golem, I like it for the simple fact that, one, it is readily available. This will definitely be a featured Pokemon throughout the event, so make sure to stack up on it from that regard. And then secondarily, it has an incredible shiny. I'm a huge fan of the gold shinies, so yes, that is a little bit of a bias towards this Pokemon, but I think it is very accessible. I think that if you are a mid-range player or you're looking for kind of like a fill-in spot on your Rock team, maybe a 5th spot, maybe a 6th spot to kind of substitute more expensive Pokemon like a Rampardos or like a Tyranitar, Golem is definitely the budget Rock-type Pokemon that you want to have on your team. For the number 4 spot, we're going to change things up a little bit and focus a little bit more on the PvP aspect. And that is for Bastiodon, max AP of 1,539, a dual type of Rock and Steel type. Taking a look at the stats, this will definitely be the lowest overall ranking stats among this list, ranked out at 323rd, its best stat being its defense stat, ranked out at 6th, its worst stat being its attack stat, ranked out at 483rd. That's basically as low as it gets, but luckily for us, as far as PvP is concerned in the Great League, that is not always the case. Bastiodon is an incredible Pokemon from a PvP perspective. I talked about how I ended up getting that lucky version of it. Very excited about it from a PvP standpoint. I'm gonna definitely use the heck out of it. But regardless of that, it does actually rank out in the Great League in at the number 8 spot overall, which is definitely nothing to laugh at. Very excited about that, so I figured I would go ahead and include it in this list for any other PvP enthusiast out there. Number 3 is for Rhyperior, with a max AP of 3,733. Definitely an incredible Pokemon, a very high CP as well. Talking about it statistically, its attack stat is insane, but its stamina is in at the number 1 spot, ranked out at 19th. But if you check out its overall ranking, it is 10th in Pokemon Go. That is absolutely insane for Rhyperior. So as far as the usability is concerned, it's an incredible Pokemon from the Rock type. It's also very good from the Ground type, so definitely keep that in consideration. But as far as the performance is concerned, it is going to get outpaced by some other Pokemon on this list, Rampardos and also Tyranitar from the Rock typing. But it is definitely something that I'm personally excited about. And like I said, maybe consider using it from the Ground typing instead. There's a little bit less competition. Really, the only competition would be Groudon and Garchomp. But besides that, I think Rhyperior is a very well-balanced Pokemon that can do pretty good from both typings. For the number 2 spot, we have Rampardos with a max AP of 3,298, a pure rock-type Pokemon. We have some incredible things to talk about in regards to Rampardos, especially related to the stats. Go ahead and check it out. That attack stat is at 295, only 5 points away from Mewtwo's attack stat of 300, ranked at 4th in Pokemon Go, taking a look at its overall ranking of 98th. So as you're seeing, we're bouncing around a little bit as far as these statistical ranks are concerned, but in this case, Rampardos is doing well because it is so lopsided towards that attack stat. And when we talk about the number 1 rock-type performer, Rampardos has it hands down. It is an incredible Pokemon, it has an incredible set of stats, and then even beyond the stats, it has an incredible moveset of Smackdown and Rock Slide. And when you use all of that, it's able to take out a Pokemon like Tyranitar, which is why I ended up putting it in at the number 2 spot. We'll talk about Tyranitar next, of course, in at that number 1 spot. I think that Tyranitar and Rampardos are a bit of a toss-up, but I definitely want to explain why I decided to put Tyranitar in at the number 1 spot. Tyranitar with a max AP of 3,834. Tyranitar is a dual type of the rock and also the dark type. Taking a look at the stats, its best stat is its attack stat at 251, ranked at 25th, but even its worst stat is not bad at all. Check out that defense stat, only ranked at 56, an overall ranking of 3rd in Pokemon Go. Definitely nothing to laugh at, something that you do not want to overlook. In this case, Larvitar will be your absolute friend throughout the adventure week. I am so excited about it, not even necessarily to have one powered up, but to get just a lot of candies from the egg system. Very excited about that. It will probably be a little bit more on the rare side finding it in the wild, but I'm very excited to just use Tyranitar and then of course express how good it is. So basically how it goes is from the rock type, you have to have the Community Day exclusive move, Smackdown, for it to be any good from a rock type standpoint. It will be the 2nd best rock type attacker. But on the other side, maybe the thing that I would actually focus on throughout this event is the fact that you can end up getting some Tyranitar from the dark typing, using Bite, using Crunch, because it is the number 1 dark type attacker. So overall, it has some very good usability from multiple types. And for the fact that we've had so many psychic type Pokemon coming out from the legendary rating standpoint, Tyranitar has been an absolute staple Pokemon at this point in time. And then of course, we also have a little bit of future value related to a Mega Evolution, so definitely something to consider. But yeah, that just about wraps up the video. I am so excited to get out there, catch some of these rock type Pokemon. I'm going to be doing so many trades throughout the event, trading some weather boosted versions of all of these, and then of course trying to get some luckies and then just having them be usable and not have to invest any Stardust. But I definitely want to know what you think about these rock type Pokemon. Which one would you focus on the most? Is it Rampardos? Is it Tyranitar? Or are you a PvP enthusiast so you're focusing on Bastiodon? Whatever it is, definitely let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you next time. I wanted to extend a huge thank you to the supporters over at Patreon. You definitely make this possible, and I 100% appreciate this support. If you are interested in supporting my channel on Patreon, definitely feel free to check out the link in the description.